How's it going, everybody? Let me load this up quick. This is the last little bit that we didn't get to do yesterday because, oh boy, there was a lot more to that final fight than I thought. It's too low? Hold on. Okay. So, if you do not remember from last time, we're very covered in metal, and our very fancy armor is gone, so I guess we couldn't upkeep that armor. I went so over. I did. It was crazy, but...
Face your master!
Thank you, Ed, for the subscribe. Thank you, sir. I'm glad you're here, Ed. You get to see all the people talk. I don't know why it still says Scratch has something to say. He doesn't. All right. Let's talk with everybody. Will's down. Oh, Volo made it?
Ah, my dear friend, it's been an age.
But how are you guys doing? How are you doing, Destron? How are you doing, Ed?
Indeed. Our skeletal friend will be very pleased to see I found my way here, despite my invitation getting lost in the post.
Ah. Okay. Hey, Scratch still gets himself stuck back there. Whoa, what's going on with Gale? Look at his eyes. Have you come seeking a statement for your next tell-all?
Oh, I wouldn't bother you with such things during a party. And anyway, I've gotten quite good at replicating your signature, so you needn't even bother with the release form. You might help me with the title, though. I'm considering The Hero and Me. What do you think?
The Hero and I, no? You're doing good, Destro. I'm glad to hear it. You as well, Ed. Drunk. Well, you know, that's okay. I love it, presuming I'm the hero. She's just in the back there with... Everyone's got glowing eyes. I'm guessing story-wise, these guys are, like, super strong before the start of the game, and then the tadpoles make them weaker for the story-wise, so I'm guessing they all got super strong after this ended. Including us, I'm assuming.
Me? It's all Volo as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, that answered the other question.
Once the manuscript is finished, you'd even be willing to write a foreword? Or better yet, I'll write a draft, and you can just sign your name. Better still, I'll sign it for you. Hmm? Ah, your success really has been wonderful for my reputation. But you mustn't let me hog your attention all night, my friend. You've many friends to chat to, and I'd love to listen in.
MS Volo is still telling the words of Stewbert, so it's something.
Well,
oh, look!
now,
Scratch and Owlbear were sleeping next to each other.
When you have a mind to.
Learned a lot since we last met.
I'm glad the months have not been wasted. Particularly as I spent them cleaning up the mess we made of the city.
I mean, we didn't do that.
Same twisting alleys for purse pickers. Same wooden buildings ready to get burnt by next year's dragon. Same cisterns overflowing. Huh.
I heard rumors the Upper City was destroyed beyond recognition. How would we even get those rumors? Weren't we in Avernus the whole time?
The Upper City has been almost entirely rebuilt. That's where the gold is. Even the builder's scaffolds are cleared from the streets. No dust left to sneeze at. Baldurians simply get on with it. Stubbornness, civic spirit.
Look, Boo's in the background.
Plain stupidity. Perhaps all three. But nothing I will sniff at any longer. Harpers have come from half the world over to lend aid. Farmers, masons, healers. My own son, Jord, has been wooed to their ranks. Already he plans crop cycles in Worm's Crossing.
Oh.
Not so for my daughter. Ryan's rejoined the Flaming Fist. Temporarily, you understand. To organize the craftsmen. Though she spends more time locking up comrades for pocketing aid funds. They might learn a thing or two if they don't expel her. Again.
Ah, all well and good. What about you? I want to hear what you've been up to. You must be proud of them. We'll go with that.
I suppose I am. I tried to steer them clear of my life's work, but they have chosen it for themselves. There is still much to do. People to house, a Harper network to rebuild. I may have little love for this city, but so long as my family chooses to serve it, I can do no less. For all your travels, I hope you have arrived where you want to be. Home. Whatever that means to you.
This campsite is my home, even when I'm far away. Yeah, look, they're hanging out with each other. I don't know if that's just perfect timing or not, but... Yeah, I don't think Avernus is a home. It just kind of is a necessity until we find other issues.
The same might be said for all of us, I'd wager. But so long as our paths have thrown us together, I say we make the most of it. Now, before this night grows any deeper, I must inspect the refreshments. You'll never know. Some ne'er-do-well might have tampered with the wine.
Sure. Alright. Oh, look, he's eating. Oh, hey, Will.
There you are, my friend. Breathe deep. Can you smell it?
Oh, we might fail this. That's funny. The low end gets me again.
Breath. But you don't notice anything.
By the good gods. How bad do I reek? Ugh, shit. Dried devil's blood. Stinks like a skunk squatting in an aboleth's corpse. No wonder. The three of us have felled enough Cambions to build a fortress with their horns. Who'd have thought that just one of those fiends held the key to escaping Avernus for good? If those blueprints work, we might be able to fix Karlach, and she might be able to go home to Faerun.
Slip away to see your father? Yeah, that's...
I've seen him more than a few times, and he's as proud of me as I am of him. He's leading the city's renewal, opened the gates to all newcomers, rebuilt the council from scratch. And he's back in his element, commanding the Flaming Fist with brave heart and no shortage of empathy. The likes of Gortash can bend people's minds with a few chosen words. No tadpole needed. Bane's Chosen primed the Fist for a war they weren't meant to win. He convinced them there was an assassin hiding in every shadow, that cruelty was the correct answer to crisis. With a few exceptions, fathers pardoned every last fist. If my forgiveness not be Tyr's will, so be it. I shall forgive them all the same. His words, not mine.
Too bad I killed so many of them, but okay.
He still believes in the bow and the blade, but with Floric's help, he's teaching the Fist a new lesson.
And what's
Valor
that?
is found not
Oh.
in the wounds you inflict, but in the lives that you have bettered. May they all take it to heart.
Hopefully. How long before Missouri becomes a problem, do you
She's
think?
kept me on a long leash, if you can believe it. Every target she's set me on's been a demonic intruder. Tanari assassins who slip into Avernus. Armonites that amass near the sticks. My next target's the most challenging yet, or so she says. I don't know much more. Only that it's no demon, but a devil. I'm not worried. Not when you both have my back. I swear you two could scare the eyes off a beholder.
Oh, it is Stewbert. Alright.
Well, that's enough hell talk for the moment. The night's young. You shouldn't go wasting it. Or wasting any of the wine for that matter. I plan on downing half a bottle myself. Oh,
Did I say half a bottle? I meant half a dozen.
Wonderful. I like how she has the elixir still applied.
Good company and good wine from the looks of it.
All right, Minsk, let's hear it.
Boo! We are not dreaming.
Oh, look, he's actually there now.
Our old friend.
I think he was supposed to be there the whole time. He just didn't load for me.
Oh, and it is good to be seen. Oh, after so many days down in the dark, Minsk began to wonder if he was some blind bug who had only dreamed himself to be large and bulksome. You will forgive the aroma, I hope. We were not expecting the Dusty One to open a portal to our very cell. Boo had a moment to lick himself clean, but there is a little too much of Minsk to cover.
We're in a cell? What for?
Minsk and Boo have been helping, of course. We guard the streets, while Jaheira is occupied with harperish matters. The Zentarum rule the city's underbelly, so Minsk and Boo went to give them a tickle. There were harsh words, battle cries, some manner of head wound. We awoke in a Zentish cell, awaiting trial by noble combat. Execution, says Boo, though I am not sure of the difference. It is a long walk to the gallows, and Minsk still has his fists, no?
Oh. Sounds like Withers got you out just in time.
Ample time indeed. So long as the Bone Mage returns us to our cell by dawn, Boo would not be late to the bloodshed. But leave such matters for the morn. Tonight is for celebration and the telling of tales. How have you filled your days since we tore this sticky tyrant from the sky?
Fighting off devils and looking for a cure. Yeah, that has been the idea, so that's the answer.
Oh, Boo, do you know what it would mean? To find a cure for Karlach's heart? Exactly! Her heart would be cured! Oh, when this day comes, you must come and bunk with Minsk and Boo. There is much merriment to be made before the night is done. Go, and greet the others. Minsk shall make himself presentable. Ah, this pond shall do nicely, Boo. Though I see no soap. So you shall have to blow the bubbles for me.
Okay. Like how there's a dagger +1. That's weird. Like there's even a chest here? Official guild, letter from Art, Ravengard, Araj. Oh my god, Zevlor. I hope my penmanship has improved somewhat in the past months. When I first stumbled into the city, I shook so badly that I could scarcely hold the soup the priest pressed into my hands, let alone write thanks and thank you as you deserve. It is only when the city itself began to shake that I felt my hands grow still, along with the other veterans sheltering at the temple. Discards of Elturel's unworthy legions. I watched that monstrosity rise over the city. We felt no fear, only anger, disgust, purpose, and with it, power. I do not know what oath we cling to now, or how long it will last, but we shall use it to ensure the city will not suffer as Elturel did, whether it wants us or not.
Quite a spread of food.
It is more than thanks alone I owe. No words can make amends for what I did to my people. But that is as it should be. More come to the temple every day to aid in the relief efforts. If I am permitted to work alongside them, then I am content. Okay, let's read some of these news things. Actually, before we read the fan letters for Stewbert, let's talk with everyone else.
It smells so good here.
Alright. Hey, there's Asterion. And then we can talk to Lae'zel and Gale.
Hello, darling. I wasn't sure our withered old friend could live up to his promise. But here we are. And look at you. Straight from the hells, still reeking of brimstone. I take it you've been having fun.
Killing devils and causing chaos. I can't complain. That's probably a stupid answer.
I'd expect nothing less from someone of your talents. You always brought a whiff of madness to the battlefield. I do miss it.
How's my favorite bloodsucker? Well, other vampires died, so...
I've taken a turn as an adventurer and hero.
Wow.
It turns out no one actually cares about murder as long as you murder the right people. And apparently I'm rather good at it.
Well, that's good. I could have told you that. As long as there's something in it for you.
You know me oh so well, don't you? But yes, there's nothing wrong with being rewarded for good work. And when it comes to killing, I do very good work.
So what's next for you? Gonna keep living the good life?
Hardly. Good people don't spend as much time lurking in the dark as I do. You know, it's funny. At first, I thought I was trapped by the shadows, cursed to live in them forever. But in time, I realized that darkness is as much a part of me as my fangs. This is only a curse as long as I refuse to embrace the shadows. So, I decided I would. I decided not to be defined by the choices other people made, by what other people did to me. My past may be done, but my present, my future, they're mine.
Oh.
This is who I am, in all my glory, for better and for worse.
Acceptance looks good on you. Yeah.
That being said, I haven't completely given up on returning to the sun. If the opportunity presented itself, well, I wouldn't say no. But until then, I am happy. We've had quite the journey, you and I. From the moment I first threatened you, I knew you were someone special. Someone to take on the world with. I will miss our time together. But then again, maybe this isn't goodbye. So much as it's, see you later, darling.
Wonderful. Let's go see what Lae'zel got up to. She even got a new suit. She was, quite naked last time we saw her.
My friend, the Hellswalker. For 2 months, I trained the Knights of the Comet. For 2 more, I skewered Kithraki bellies. And for 2 more yet, I traveled through Limbo. But to see your face, it brings me even more pleasure than taking a Royal Inquisitor's head.
Okay. Your efforts to topple Vlaakith are well underway, then?
We've spilled blood, gained a foothold in the Astral, but still we need allies. And one beyond reckoning has made itself known. Zerith Minyaragith.
Who?
Not a what, but a who. The immortal god king of the Githzerai. An exiled people. Once king with mine.
Oh.
Until the madness of civil war ripped our one sky into 2.
That's interesting.
Word of the rebellion to Minyaragith through the cosmos. He's agreed to parley. It's fallen to me to secure an alliance.
Your tongue is as learned as your blade. The enemy of an enemy is my friend, as they say.
Sometimes. But I don't need the Githzerai to fight for us. Just with us. Minyaragith is an ascetic. He reached out in good faith. This is his way. It is in this spirit that I must meet him. He is also a near deity. Should the Githzerai join us, we could topple the City of Death in a red dragon's blink. Should they refuse, I carry on. Gravity pulls me in but one direction.
I like how we found 2 roles already, by the way.
I will not rest until I burn Vlaakith's bones to ash and smash her phylactery to pieces.
Oh yeah.
My people will
I'm just
be
sad
free.
I couldn't do it.
But you've heard that refrain before. Zealous, bossy, insistent. All part and parcel of my undeniable charm. Soon, when the comet has risen, when the Lich Queen has crumbled to dust, I miss this place. More to the point, I missed you. I'll be
Sure.
back one day. The Overgod himself couldn't keep me away.
I mean, good luck with your rebellion, I guess. I was hoping for better news, like you already blew her head off, but I guess you would be here if that was...
There you are.
Oh, Gale's looking quite powerful. Everyone else kept their buffs. Why did it take my potion? Oh, I died. That's why. Wait. Wait. Is my statue here? What happened to my statue? I paid $5 grand for that. Where's my statue? Oh, man. You know what I'm really sad about? I don't think I see the, end your adventure. Yeah, my statue's gone and the kid with the cat's not here. So we don't get to talk with the kitty. Oh, Shadowheart. Did I talk with her? I did. Yeah, we'll talk with her then. Let's talk with Gale.
Well, well. Look what the Tressim dragged in. Professor Gale Decarius of Blackstaff Academy. Educator of...
Oh, he doesn't have the eye thing anymore.
School of Illusion. A pleasure to remake your acquaintance.
You could give Gale a hug. You know what? Hugs are okay. We can give hugs to our friends. Although Stewbert smells like hell. Like, literally. Oh, look! The kitty made it! There you go. You brought it in, now bring it out.
Well, that was quite lovely. I'm glad you're as pleased to see me as I am you. I have to say, I'm quite grateful to just be Gale for the evening. I fear my students find me somewhat intimidating due to my, explosive former reputation. I seem to put the fear of the gods into them. Or the fear of Mistra, to be more specific. I surrendered the crown of Karsus to her, as I told you I would. And in return, she cured me of the orb at last. Even now, I struggle to put the feelings into words. It was like exhaling for the first time after holding my breath for so very long. Of course, I haven't clarified with my students that the orb is no longer a threat. The legend of my explosive capabilities is an excellent means of controlling a classroom. Too good, if anything. I spend most of my time trying to convince them how much fun the study of magic can be. But it'd be easier to crack a smile on an intellect devourer than some of my pupils.
Okay. Go on then, convince me. I mean, magic's always cool. You sound dull as old brass. Sounds dull as old brass. Wouldn't you rather be out on another adventure? I mean, that would be true, but... I mean, that would be a Stewbert answer there. Yeah, we'll go with that one.
Confess, sometimes while marking a student's 5th attempt at explaining the principles of illusory materialization, the thought occurs to me. In fact, I've actually been considering writing down the story of our adventures. The true tale of our flawed but ultimately endearing troupe, and the trials and tribulations we overcame. I can hardly leave it to the likes of Volo to give a true account of our adventures. And no one would believe him if he did.
That odious man truly frizzles my whiskers. Long-haired miniature dragon, he calls me. Tressim is much less of a mouthful.
And what of you? What are you making of this newfound lease of life we earned?
Fight in hell. Yeah. Avernus interesting. We've been making a mess down there, that's for sure. Found the love of my life. I'd say I'm pretty happy. Let's keep going with the Avernus thing.
I almost feel sorry for the devils in your path. I mean, I don't, of course. Sure, they deserve it. I've told my students plenty.
You cross Stewbert, that's all it takes.
Escapades. You're something of a hero to them, you know? I'll be delighted to introduce you to my current cohort as a guest lecturer, perhaps. I'm sure they'd have plenty of questions for you. Excellent. I knew you wouldn't be able to resist the allure of sharing your expertise.
That's a stupid
Of course,
answer.
you'll be most welcome to stay with me in my tower. My apologies, Tara. That would be our tower. It will give us plenty of time to catch up on your adventures. I'm very curious to know what you've been up to these past months. But I suspect the telling of that tale would keep you tied to me all evening. So, in the spirit of selflessness, I encourage you to mix and mingle for now.
So Shadowheart and Karlach are all that's left, and the weird guy singing up top. Talk with the kitty.
Oh, right. You. Hello. Yes, I'm certain it is. As for you, well, I've heard congratulations are in order. You helped Mr. Dacarios save Baldur's Gate from the Absolute, isn't that right?
You've reminded me why I've always disliked cats. That's what he told you? Who am I to argue?
Well done. Despite my old friend's genius, he'd have blown himself up long ago if not for the help of friends like you and I. You ought to come visit myself and Gale when you're able, if you can extract yourself from what I'm sure are very important responsibilities. We'll send word by pigeon when we've need of you. I used to have a taste for them, but a great many things have changed in recent months. Ta-ta, darling.
Well, you can't leave me hanging. What have you changed your diet to? Oh, look. Clothing. Oh, so you can just put on whatever you want. Hot pants? Nice. Oh, we'll put these shoes on. There we go. Looking a little better. Let me see. Okay, that's a little aggressive. What about this? Ooh, what about this? Ooh, that one's not bad. Not bad at all. And you could just dye them if you want. I like how they add that there. It's just like, yeah, if you want to mess with your outfit, go ahead. Alright, Shadowheart, where'd she go? Oh, there she is. Hello,
Starting
Shadowheart.
to wonder if you'd show up.
A whirlwind visit from Avernus is no mean feat. It's a wonder how Withers managed to bring us here. Let's see.
You can say that with a straight face after all the times I had to come to your aid. Oh, come here, will you? It's been forever.
Oh, even she gets a hug. Not even Asterion got that. Poor guy. I mean, that was an answer, but it felt like the weird answer for that.
You feel a little more substantial than before. Less camping and scrounging off the land, I take it.
No, that continued. We were fighting hell. Are you calling me chubby?
I suppose I do, don't I? I'm glad you seem well. Truly. Wondering.
What has Shadowheart been up to?
The adventuring life is almost a tonic when you're not constantly threatened by brain monsters and cultists. I can finally see the world beyond the cloister.
Hello, where have you been? What have you seen?
One of my first
Please.
stops was the House of the Moon in Waterdeep.
Okay.
It's the largest temple of Selûne in existence. It seemed like the perfect spot to reflect on my parents, on where they came from. And where I came from too, I suppose. Hard to imagine, isn't it? Me, of all people, in the lair of the Moon Witch herself. God, your truest act of heroism was putting up with all that char and drivel I was spouting for so long.
You're right, I was truly heroic. Waterdeep, you say? Well, I think he said he went somewhere else.
Oh, I know they are. I can still sense them, I think. And one day we'll be reunited.
Okay. What else have you been doing?
Well, I've had run-ins with my former fellow Sharans on a couple of occasions.
Wonderful.
Word seems to have spread of what happened at the cloister. Now other chapters of Shar worshippers see me as a prime target to offer up to their lady as a sacrifice.
How's that worked out for him?
Don't worry. I know their tired old tricks better than anyone. They'll need more than a hooded cloak and poisoned blade to best me. Especially when I have a friend on the inside keeping me abreast of their predictable little plans.
Nocturne.
None other. The matter of her faith and allegiances remains complicated, let's say. But she is still my oldest friend. I have hopes that perhaps she might turn from Shar entirely given time. But that's a decision she will have to make for herself. If that day comes, I'll be ready.
Next for you.
I don't know. Which is just the way I like it just now. Perhaps I'll just stick a pin in a map and see what I find, or head to the docks in the morning and scrounge a berth to find somewhere new. I'd like to see the islands, maybe, or head south to Arm. I heard there's an enclave of werecats that hunt the followers of dark gods by moonlight. I'd love to see if there's any truth to that. But enough about me. What have you been up to?
Then the music cuts in. What about Stewbert?
I'm glad you two have each other. Hells, I'd be almost tempted to come along if you'd have me. Perhaps if your adventures ever lead you out of Avernus permanently. Hopefully these meetups will become a regular occurrence. It's not that I miss the tadpoles, but at least it brought us together. Now we've got to make the extra effort ourselves. I'm sure.
Hey, that'd be a fourth person.
But let's be proactive about it all the same. We're more than capable. After all, we've faced down bigger threats than wrangling together a few social calendars. Don't be a stranger.
You got it. Let's talk with Scratch again. I'm curious.
Oh, boy. Is it lovely to sniff you again? Do you even have to ask? I certainly have, and you always know just how to do it.
Oh, he did figure it out. He didn't bring it back. He's just playing with it. That's funny.
A familiar sight. Scratch can't quite speak around the thing he has in his mouth.
Do you even have to ask?
Hooah! Oh, he doesn't bring it back. He chews on it. He can keep it. I think it's for the best. Alright, I think as far as that goes, we talked with everybody. It'd be really awkward if I missed someone, but I think we're good. Let's talk to Karlach, and that's it. Well, this guy up here. Malil? I don't know who that is.
Oh, shit. Oh, my God. He wasn't kidding. Withers, you mad bastard! You brought us back! Commander Zula won't know where the fuck we went! Ha! Oh, man, I can't wait to say hi to everyone. Look at them, the beauts. Rest up, soldier. My tin can will be all right for the night. And you and me will get to sleep with both eyes shut for the first time in 6 months? Then again, maybe we won't sleep at all. Me too, my love. See you soon.
Yeah, skip that. Will will have... seems to be having a good time. We should enjoy ourselves too before your heart heats up.
She's got a knight in her, I think. Any trouble and I'll toddle back off to hell quick as you please.
We don't need that part.
Oh, hey. Before you go, I've been thinking about those blueprints we found. Zariel's probably got a load of Cambions guarding that forge. I'm sure she knows I'll want in. She'll do anything to stop me from fixing this thing. I might have an in with one of the guards, though. An old acquaintance called Flo. Not sure she'll help us, but maybe. We might get to come home. Permanently. Maybe even sooner than we think.
Okay, that was uneventful. But that's fine. We wanted to know about Boo. Who are you?
Hello. Let me guess, you've got some suggestions about the music choice.
You seem glum. I thought bards were meant to be full of pep and joy.
I find it hard to summon up the trademark pep these days. You have no idea who I am, do you? I thought Withers might have set the stage a little.
Go on then. What's your name?
Though if the lack of song prayers is anything to go by, that name carries less weight than it used to.
Musical prayers were once offered to Melil, Lord of Song, a minor deity whose worship faded after offending the trickster god Cyric.
I'm washed up, I'm afraid. You know?
You're bloody right. It is an honor. Finally. The scribe picks an adventurer of substance, of culture.
What can I do you for? Fantastical news. Carry on I shall.
Oh, well, look at that. Nice.
It smells so good here.
Wait. Where... Was Withers even here? Oh, so you can actually pick different songs. Well, that's everybody. It doesn't seem like most people. I mean, Minsk got up to no good, but you know how it is. the effects. Oh, he's drunk, isn't he? Yes, he is. Still has his shield on somehow.
Withers has a keen eye for a nice vintage. Why were we scrounging in barrels and crates for supplies when he could source these? God, I remember one evening when we had to eat 14 apples, some fish heads, and a stale loaf of bread just to get by.
Not know where he gets it.
They all talk about the food. She can't lean properly on it because she still has the elixir. That's funny. Alright, well, we're not exactly done. Let's look at some of these news things. The Gazette. Oh, they're all the same. Worm's army dispersed from Baldurian borders. Well, what would that do? When we killed all those things, I guess it depends if they all transformed or not. Raven Guard returned to full strength. Oh. Okay, so we're going right to left here of new stuff. The last holdout cultist cleared from the Temple of Baal. Oh, the curse is lifted. Iron Throne wreckage continues to block shipping lanes. Complaint merchants. Sorry if I can read. 6 months since the assassination of Archduke Gortash. Small Sun Tour new district built by Alturian refugees. New Bardic School. Tiefling founder secures Upper City funding. Okay.
The whole gang is here. Wish I'd had time to polish up the horns.
Alright, so who are we reading from here? Nine Fingers. I'm not much for leaving the city, but it does gladden a girl's heart to be asked to the ball, so I'll thank you for that much. In my place, I accept a few casks of fine vintage that managed to roll their way from Upper City and all the commotion. The rebuilding has given us rise to many such happy opportunities, worth discussing over a more civilized drink in my guild hall, if you find yourself at a loose end. Enjoy the muck, and see if you can get the High Harper to sing. You won't be disappointed. And this is Marina? I finally had... Oh, it's that lady. I had my baby, a beautiful boy. I can't believe I ever thought of giving him up. He screams his head off half the night, and I've barely slept, but I'm the happiest I've ever been. Other than my wedding day, of course. I decided to name him Connor, after his dad. With Ethel gone, myself and some other hag survivors have started our own publishing house. We've only printed a few pamphlets so far. Said that weird, but that's alright. But I'm halfway through my first book, me, an author. It's like something out of a dream. Mind you, it's all about how to kill hags, but you know what they say, write what you know. With every pamphlet we publish, more people show up to our support groups. As happy as that makes me, it breaks my heart to see how much harm Ethel did. But so long as I live, another hag won't set foot in Baldur's Gate, you have my word. Anyway, the reason I'm writing to you isn't just to talk your ear off, it's to say thank you for saving a scared young girl who thought she'd be a terrible mother. I couldn't have been more wrong. Next time we meet, pints are on me. Oh, that's cool. Throw it. Next, Hope. Oh, wait, Hope? I had a dream last night. Not that there are any nights here, or any days. It was a dream about you, all of you, and you were here with me, and I had served bread and jam and oat crackers and cheeses and enough tea to quench a desert. You nibbled and sipped and smiled and laughed, and you asked if I was happy. Nobody has asked that for so long that I don't know if anyone has ever asked at all. I didn't have words to answer, so instead I led you through my house and showed you all the souls that are here with me. They were Raphael's once, but now they only belong to themselves. The archive is an art gallery, the boudoir is a grand kitchen, and the dungeon is a refuge for any wounded soul or creatures that finds its way to us. Am I happy? I don't know, but I am Hope, and I persist because of you. Wow, I don't know how she knew how to find me. Floss. If Yankee script adorns one side of the page, the other is written in common tongue. Shalak. Orpheus may not be with us, but the comet shines ever bright. Breath by breath, battle by battle, Vlaakith's death draws nearer. I have taken to the astral plane, slaughter all who must be slaughtered, and spread the air's truth to every possible ear, willing and unwilling. Many Githyanki have taken up arms as warriors of the comet. Others have remained in their enclaves or traveled to creches, dedicating themselves to our cause as scribes, spies, or slate scholars. But our allies do not call themselves children of Gith. Zareth Menyar Agith, the Githzerai God King, has requested an audience. There was a time I would have thought such a coalition unspeakable, but with the Githzerai at our side, not even the full force of the Githraki could stop us. If Vlaakith is to fall, perhaps the two skies must again be made one. Okay. Seems like everyone's getting mostly a happy ending. I mean, they're at war, but Valeria. I'm writing to request your help in a mysterious case that has arisen since our little Balian bash half year ago. Regrettably, I've had to take credit for dispelling the Ball cult. In your absence, you understand. And I am working on routing the remaining Ballist from our fair city. This has made me a target. Oh, that was the elephant. Floating elephant. A false document bringing my name to ill repute has been made public. An alleged unpaid bar tab to the elf song. If you happen to be passing through with a bundle of coin, perhaps you can persuade management of my obvious innocence. Much obliged. Investigator Valeria. Sleuth of Helm. I wrangled Devala a posthumous promotion to Blaze Fountainhead. She deserved that at least. Nocturne. Dear Shadowheart, I hope that you are happy and well. I must keep this short, as I remain shrouded by Shar's followers at almost every waking moment in my new enclave. I dearly wish for you to enjoy your night spent with old friends, and I hope that you and I shall share such a reunion. I know it must seem strange for me to dwell on such heretical thoughts, yet I cannot help myself. Perhaps one day I shall find some measure of bravery that you did, and walk away from this life. Until then, I shall keep safe and hold memories of you as my one ember of light amid an ocean of darkness. Till we find each other once again. How many more we got? 2 whole things. Elminster. The Cheese Wizard. Gale, my boy. I can only apologize for my absence from Wither's little gathering. As you know, only the most urgent business would keep me from indulging myself in his excellent taste in sweetmeats. And your esteemed company, of course.
Good company.
I was delighted to hear that you came to your senses with regards to that cursed crown. Not that clown, not the one we put together. And delighted yet further when I learned that the orb's lingering presence no longer poses any threat. In that sense, at least, I hope you feel Mistra treated you fairly. I trust you're enjoying your adventures. I have to say, I struggle to picture you outside of Waterdeep, or your library for that matter. Wherever your escapades take you, be sure to keep your larder well provisioned. After all, one never knows when an old friend might drop by. The Cheese Wizard. What do we got? Damon. Hey there, would you mind passing this on to Karlak? Thanks a mil. If you're reading this, you're alive. One way or another, you found a way back, thank the gods. I think of you often and wondering what's become of you. Write me, won't you please? Can I actually give this to her? Like, if I go over here and, like, hand it to her, would that actually work? What if I talk to her now that I have it? Just curious. Nope. I think it's just kind of a nice little thing where it's just like, hey, why don't you... Okay, whatever. Moving on. Whoops! Okay. Next is Barkus. I don't think I remember him. To whom it may concern, Withers gave me this address that I could consider writing. Well, I considered it. Return address included. Best. Barkus Root. I don't remember you, Barkus. Who is this? Alfira. Hello, friend. It's been so long, but I have the most amazing news. You know how Lacrissa was working insane hours at the Elfsong Tavern? Well, she woke me up one morning all excited and told me she had a surprise for me. She took me to a house in the lower city that had a plaque hanging up outside of it. A plaque with you and Lahilla's names on it and the School of Music beneath. I just burst into tears. I couldn't believe it. It's the cutest house you've ever seen with a big open space downstairs and a small loft where we can sleep. Word spread before I knew it. I had a room packed with trainee bards from Candlekeep to Waterdeep. Lacrissa had to quit the Elfsong to help out. I am teaching night and day and fall into bed utterly exhausted every night, and I've never been happier. You come and visit sometimes. We'd love to have you. I don't remember that one. Oh, these are the hunters. To the spawn Asterion, greetings from the family of Ulma, hunters of monsters and keepers of peace. We know this letter finds you well, for although we hunt you no longer, we do sometimes keep a watch. Your restraint and control over your bloodlust has been admirable. Indeed, it has been an inspiration for our children who have struggled with their own hunger. These last months have been a difficult time for our people. We have protected and nurtured our children as best we can, and we learned much. Herbs we once used to dull our foes' minds are now sedatives to ease hunger and pain. Restraints built to hold the undead now protect them from themselves. There has been a lot of pain, but a lot of progress too. Our children learned discipline and control, while we learned compassion and patience. There was a time where we would have destroyed any undead creature, our own blood or not, and called it a mercy, but then we met you. We saw redemption was possible. Difficult, yes. Painful, but possible. You saved our children first from Cazador and then from us. For that, we thank you. We will watch you still, but with more admiration than fear. Wow, that works out. So I'm guessing these are for all the other people. Where is Connor? Well, we lost the item, so I don't know what they did with that. I'm guessing the wand's just discarded at this point. But we got a note from the wife that she had the kid and she's happy. Still hunting hags. But yeah, Connor is forgotten about now. They took that away. I guess once she was happy, we had to let Connor lay to rest for good. Dear friend, I doubted you for so long. Perhaps you knew that already in spite of my best attempts. You proved yourself time and again, and at Joaquin's Rest in Moonrise Towers and Worm's Rock, and I still doubted. The Netherbrain's defeat should have proven your courage, yet I was more doubtful than ever. This was a ruse, a dream, a trick. And then one eve, from the elf song, I heard it singing. I don't actually... The Raucous, I think? I probably got that way wrong. Lewd, tuneless, drunken refrain. I'd never heard anything more terrible and more beautiful. I've raised my voice and joined the chorus. That was the moment all my doubts melted away and were replaced with something more valuable. Hope. Baldur's Gate will be whole again. I might have doubted you, but you never did. Look at all those fan letters. Mirage. My friend, no, my darling, greetings from Menzo Baranzan, where the blood you so kindly traded me is ready to play its part in resurrecting the glorious house Abladra. From the moment I saw you, I knew you had power. I knew I couldn't harness it. I knew that it could be mine. I knew that I could harness it. Soon I will descend into the abyss my people call Claw Rift, searching for my lost house and its depths. Will it be dangerous? Oh yes, most dangerous. But don't fear, darling. Your strength will see me through. I will find the ruins of my house, and when I emerge again, I will be as the matron mother of a house reborn. All thanks to you. All thanks to the power in your blood. Oh. So that was the weird lady, wasn't it? In the tower, I think. Ravengard. Heroes of Baldur's Gate, vanquisher of the Absolute. The city is forever in your debt, for without your valor, your audacity, your sacrifice, it would not know renewal. It is not temples and inns and homes that I speak of, but hearts. Baldur's Gate can never be the city it was before it suffered the Absolute's touch, and that is as it should be. The survivors have borne witness to their homes near destruction. They have come to regret turning a blind eye to the cruelty Gortash disguised as safety and security. And they understand, just as I have come to understand, that trust, compassion, and unity are the foundation of Baldur's Gate. Our gates are open once more to the disowned and displaced. The Flaming Fist will learn to be true servants of the people. And I will devote myself to ridding the gate of the shameful fears that allowed evil to enter our homes and sit at our tables. Okay, we have two more from Art. To an old acquaintance. I write to you from the sunny porch of the Last Light Inn. A light breeze blows now and then. People are milling in and out, builders, visitors, and children of all ages in Halson's care. I can no longer hold a quill or eat without assistance. A kind friend in transcribing this for me. Daniel, rejoined with Oliver, has promised to be with me when the end comes. As our old songs drift on the wind, even louder...
What's cooking?
Carlac, calm down. I know I have mere days left, but I do not fear it. If If not for your help, this land would still be shrouded in darkness, and I'd still be lost without it. Know that my heart is full and happy, and I am grateful for my last moments. Do visit someday if you have time to stop by an old Flaming Fist's grave. I know I'd love to see you.
By the living gods, I needed it.
Okay. That one was kind of somber. I guess they're happy. And what's this one? An official guild letter. To the hero of the realms, we have followed your adventure closely from the day you fell from that doomed nautiloid to the final blow you struck the Netherbrain as it loomed over the Sword Coast. But we are a humble guild who pride themselves in telling stories not unlike the tales being written of you for many years to come. How inspired we have been to witness your feats, awesome and terrible, the lives you have saved and sundered, the friendships you found. Thus, we thought to extend a greeting to thank you for adventuring with such creative determination, such panache. Panache? Panache. Stewbert Guild, yeah. Enough to touch the hearts of each of our number. With the deepest gratitude, the Guild of Great Genius. Okay. That was a lot of letters, but hey. Oh, Withers is over here. Is it talking to Withers is the end of the adventure? Scroll of Disintegrate? Why do they have those there? Fine odds. You can't pick them up. I still have lots of stuff left over, but not anymore. Check the books. The Unclaimed. Lady of Loss. I guess we talked to Withers and that's the end, huh?
This one night is like any other, and yet different. Thou art the savior of Baldur's Gate, until such time it requires saving again. How dost thou feel?
Until such time it requires saving again. How does it feel? I think I've caught up with everyone. What comes next? I'm glad to have a break from the hells. It's the little things. I accomplished everything I wanted to. Stewbert's never done adventuring. I can't help but feel some things have been left undone. Yeah, we'll go with that.
If thou could only see the paths of fate untaken, thy mind would surely break. Be glad of thy chosen path. It is, after all, thine. Enjoy
Very true.
The revelry of the day. Thou deservest at least that much.
I think I've caught up with everyone. What comes next?
What indeed? Prick up thy ears and listen. The balance of the world restored. The balance of these lives, mortal and otherwise, brought to account. Hear me, thou heroes, wastrels, friends. I have waited long to tell you these words. It is over. For now. Thou played thy part in weaving the fabric of fate itself, but for every thread you sewed, so did the gods unravel another. Sleep, rest, revel, but be ready. For thou mayst yet be needed. Until we meet again, I wish thee every possible fortune, health, wealth, love, and above all, problems worth solving.
To Baldur's Gate. The brains without worms and a good night's sleep. With the hope of more adventures to come. That would be the Stewbert. Oh, baby. You get that off the screen. Yeah, there we go. Hopefully that'll work. Nice. Hero of a forgotten realm. Save the day. All's well that ends well. Finish the game. Owlbear and Scratch made it. It's going to be so hard to do an evil. What's this one? Finish the game. And it says with a heartfelt thank you. Kill the Netherbrain. Destroy the Absolutes. So, I will let you know that, there is now with this patch, well, maybe they added it. I think they did, is the honor mode. So it's even a tier up, I think. Or maybe it's just difficulty and you pick honor mode. I'll have to look. But, yeah, that fixes a lot of the buggy stuff that, like, lets you, like, make really broken builds. But that's it. That's the game. It's about 120 hours or so. I mean, it might have been a little bit less than that. I would have to look over it and see, because I did leave it running, so it might have been not that. You know, the few nights where I couldn't play because of internet issues. That sucked, but hey, we got through it. Definitely loved the game. A lot more than I thought, because I had played a little bit of one of their earlier games. I think it was Divinity 2 my buddies got, and it was fun, but I didn't really get into it as much. Mostly because I just didn't have the time for it at that point. Yeah, certainly loved this game. It was very fun. Story is quite good. It does take a while to get the characters to their conclusion, but it is a long game. It is based off of, you know, these kind of games being very long-winded. Everyone kind of goes through their stuff in due time. But yeah, I think a lot of the stories were fine at the ending. Now, we did not get to see Minthara as a companion, but I believe that she is literally in the same spot in the camp that Halsin is. So they never coded it that you could have Halsin and her. So, yeah, it's kind of an issue there. Though currently, I guess there is a bug that you can have both, and they just overlay on each other in the camp. So, I mean, I guess you could get everybody. Although I think they'd always be stacked on top of each other, depending. It just requires you knock her out. And then she shows up in Moonrise. Now, I don't know if that allows you to get them all, but it allows you to recruit her on a good playthrough. That's possible. But I definitely liked it. I was really bad at the start. I didn't mind Ranger. Definitely did kind of a stronger build at the end. Whoops, what happened there? Yeah, Owlbear and Scratch was great. I think any playthrough you should have talked to animals. Just get it and use it. It is always important to have it. Now, I won't be starting one immediately, but anyone who refuses to be recruited will be killed, turned into a zombie, then recruited by force. Yeah. Sadly, you can't do that. But like I said, I think with the Minthara thing, all you have to do is don't talk to her in the goblin camp right now. You knock her out with non-lethal damage and just leave her there. The game sees that as her being knocked out. Well, being killed. As far as the quest advancement goes. And it'll say, oh, you took out all the goblins. You did it. And then she'll show up later. So, yeah. I don't know if they'll fix that or not, but Halston was cool, but we didn't really use him. But, you know, we saw what his story really was. His showed up in Act 1, kind of, like at the end of Act 1, and by the end of Act 2, it was done. You go, you cleanse it, and he's like... And that's it. His story's very quick. But it's kind of like Minsk's story. Well, Minsk didn't even have a story. He just showed up, he was controlled, you saved him, he's like, hey, and then that's it. Jaheira shows up. You know, she joins at the end of Act 2, so you don't get very long with her either. But they were in previous games, so I understand. Like, I would like to have Minsk, like, from the beginning, because, you know, Boo is awesome, but, I understand why they didn't. It makes sense. Because you don't want to just keep reusing those characters, because why wouldn't you use them? Minsk is too good of an ally to not pick him for all your playthroughs. But yeah, I think all the stories were fine. Though I can still say that Lae'zel and Shadowheart take a long time to get over their ways. Shadowheart, obviously your brain was wiped because of that weird thing, but Lae'zel, I guess, goes through it. By the end of Act 2, she hates that queen. I don't know if you can have her agree to stay with her, but I guess it really doesn't matter, because no matter what, you don't get to see the fruits of that. It's just, it happens at the ending, and it's like, yep, we're dealing with that. Now, I know they're coming out with DLC for this game at some point, and I'm curious if that's going to raise the level cap. I don't know. But, I guess that depends on how long it's going to take to come out. But I will probably play that. I will get it and play that as well. But I guess the main question is that if we want to see another playthrough of this, even before the DLC, just let me know. I'll do it. For anyone that's watching this on YouTube at this point and somehow catches these exact words, comment that so I know. And then I'll do it again. Because otherwise I'll probably play it off stream and do it myself, because I don't care. But, you know, if you guys want to see it, I'll do it. I like playing this game. I think playing on a higher difficulty, maybe with honor mode, but I'll have a better idea of what we're doing. I don't know if I would do my own companions and just kind of do story companions later. Like, I could probably just recruit them and just throw them in there, you know, when their story calls for it. Just be like, hey, there it is. I mean, you really don't need to bring them, which is nice. So they can always be in camp, and you can just level them up and have them prepared if you ever need them, but... But yeah, if you guys wanted to see another one, we could do a higher difficulty. Maybe you guys could choose build ideas before I get started, just so, you know, you guys have a little bit of what you would want to see as far as classes go. I will try to make them work on a higher difficulty. I'm sure there's someone who's done it, probably did it solo while they were at it, while, you know, because they can. Some people are way better at this game than me. I wouldn't doubt it. You probably beat the game 5 times before I did it, which, that I know for sure, because I enjoy exploring everything too much. A lot of Act 3, we weren't even getting XP. I mean, we were getting it, but we were max level, so it didn't matter. Yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the playthrough. I know it was a long one, which is unusual for me, but, you know, games like this are rare for me to pick, only because I understand that, well, I don't understand, but I assume that you guys probably don't want to watch me just, like, really get into the well, maybe not. I would be happy to be wrong, but, you know, I definitely want to play games that you guys find interesting. I enjoy this game, but me, like, sitting there going, and letting all the game talk for itself, well, that might not be something you wanted to see. And if not, again, let me know that too. That's fine. But I think the future, if you guys want to see it, I will probably do the DLC. I'll do another playthrough before the DLC if you guys want to see that as well. I don't mind that either. And I believe I'll probably do a co-op with Nuke in the future. I think that'll happen. Well, it'd be... I don't know how that would work, because I think you need multiple copies of the game to do that, so I don't know if that'll happen that way, but we'll see. Let's see. I think that would be fun. But a full-price game actually worth the money is very rare. It is. I mean, honestly, I think that there's plenty of them worth the money, but so many games are just trying to push extra out of you. They're not trying to sell you a game they can be happy with. You know, this one was nice because they were really committed to making the game. Good. I mean, honestly, even without Act 3, I feel like the money's worth of the first 2 acts was there. Act 1's immediately the best act. Bar none. The best act. Act 3 had a lot of cool stuff, and I'm sure I missed a lot more, but I ended up probably missing a ton because of lag. But that's fixed now. So a second playthrough, Act 3 would probably be a lot better, only because I'm not waiting minutes at a time for things to happen. What's my total playtime? Yeah, that's the thing. Let me see. The music's gonna cut out. I have 135 hours. Now, that is considering that I AFK'd a lot while we were having issues with my internet provider. But that's fine. You know, about 135 hours. I guess if you take those 2 times down, maybe 125, which is pretty good. That is a lot of game time there. Act 1, then Act 3, and Act 2, yeah. I would say Act 3 has a lot of potential to be cool because it has a lot more murder mystery things. At least at the start it did. Certainly a lot of bugs. The lag, I think, really hurt it for my current estimations. But, you know, Act 3 has a lot less fighting. As far as, like, in the open. You don't just walk to an area and it's like, hey, this is an adventurer's setup. The Baldur's Gate is definitely more solving internal things. So it's the game is obviously on the front line of what you're doing your quests for. Over 100 hours is a good amount of content. It really is. It really is. Honestly, I think a lot of games, there's a lot of games I could play and do that, but I always want it to be games you want to see. So it could just be another thing where I just need to do some of those games. I think it'd be better if I, you know, edited them a little bit more. You know, just play it off stream when I got a chance and just edit it down. There's a lot of games I could play, but we shall see. Yeah, fantastic game. That's all there is to it. This is a good game, but everybody knew that. If you were here seeing this game, you already knew that. You already knew. So I'm not treading over anything interesting. I definitely feel that the character stories were quite good at the end. It takes a while. I don't know that Lae'zel really completely flipped me over, but like to her side of how she acted, especially early on, it's like, oh my god, every 2 steps of the way. I think they laid their like aggression on very, very thick at the start. It was the only thing that off put me then, but you know, either way. I'm sure there's going to be a ton of there. Lae'zel disapproves of that. Yeah. Well, I think they built her to be, like, aggressive. I think if you went with a more aggressive, evil playthrough. But I mean, like, evil, like, just fight people evil. Stewbert was more of a neutral, like, if you pay me, I could be. Shadowheart approved, but only because Lae'zel approves. Yeah, they both were just... Both were just at ends with each other. But But I guess Shadowheart, for what they said, of course, they just went, well, she got brain wiped, and they told her that the Gith are immediately to be distrusted. Also, I noticed something weird, and maybe I'm just not remembering because I never really took much note of Lae'zel, but I feel like they changed her nose at the end. I know that's weird, but I felt like they, like, pushed her nose down a little bit, because usually it was, like, up, you know? It's like, the whole time, which, whatever. I mean, that's cool for, like, the thing there, but it felt at the end she just had nose. Just almost normal nose. But maybe it was the angle, because I was playing Stewbert, and it was always at a down angle, and at the end it was just like... So maybe playing as a dwarf caused that, but I don't know. You know, maybe. Maybe that was the issue. Maybe. Although I can say if you want to go with a higher end build, like if you're doing higher difficulties, maybe pick Gnome. No, it was Gnome or Halfling. I think it was Halfling. One of them has the ability that's just like, oh, did you roll a 1? No, you didn't. Roll again. And it just basically gets rid of those 5% odds to be in your favor. And it's just helpful only in critical misses. So it's not absolutely like the other one where it's like you roll a 1 or 2 with a two-handed weapons damage, it goes higher. It's just like, nope. Roll higher. Which is great, because critical misses are the worst thing, because it doesn't matter how high your number goes. I can say that crit builds, I'm not super impressed, but maybe I have to look at all the different classes. Because I never really looked at Bard, or Paladin for that matter. Bard and Paladin were both things I didn't touch. Or Sorcerer. But we did see Sorcerer at the end, which I will tell you, wow. Sorcerers have some broken things. Absolutely broken things. And that is the double haste buff. Well, actually, it kind of sucked because Mizora kept losing concentration, so I don't recommend that. Unless you have advantage on your saving throws. Yeah, it seems like there's a lot of throughput there. The only one that I was a little unsure of that felt like it wasn't good enough was Druid. I was not impressed with Druid. It felt... Well, I didn't like Warlock either. And only because they have so... They're like... Warlocks have 3 spells. That's it. And then they eat a short rest. And maybe that's because I was always greedy about my stuff. By the time I got the Warlock out of Will, I didn't want a long rest. Like, if you're not downing elixirs, I think it's fine. Because you're just short rest, long rest, who cares? And then Warlocks are just using all their spells every fight, and that's fine. Druid is kind of the same thing. You transform twice, and you need a short rest. So, to have a Druid transforming every fight is just going to eat through all of them, and you're just going to be forced to do it, which really not a problem. It's just the way I played was wrong. I don't want to say it's wrong, but I was like, man, I don't want to let too much time go by. But the game has no effect on your time passed by long rests. Except for at the end when, you know, there's a person being interrupted. But I think with subsequent playthroughs, all you have to do is just go down and force it so she doesn't pick someone else and kill, like, someone in your camp for the edge lady. Or just don't go to, like, when you go to Baldur's Gate, immediately trigger that, and then just, whatever. It'll take someone you don't care about, but whatever. Yeah, you know, either way, I think there's a lot of builds to do. I'll have to do research on what classes are better, but that's if you guys want to see more of it. Like I said, if you guys want to see me do another playthrough of this in the future, please just tell me. Only because I guess I want to make sure it's not hated, I guess, or it's boring. It's just like, ugh, I don't want to see you start over again. I don't want to see you punch Ethel right in the butthole again. But, you know, I do it. I don't care. Stupid hag can die. You know, some of the other ways those can play out, I just never... It's going to be hard for me to want to do it. Hag is the worst. I felt like her story was fine. It's just... her coming back was weird. Like, her being just like, yeah, I didn't die. It's like, what? Are you kidding? But I guess they didn't want to have a completely different hag. They wanted to be a shock and surprise. New class. Are they adding new classes for the DLC? I don't know when the DLC is coming out. But yeah, I would probably try the different classes as well. I would probably try a more ranged focused playthrough, the second one, only because, boy, did I melee cleave this game. Oh my god, did I melee cleave? It was like, hey, look, I'm dual wielding, and it was good for a while. I had to change it at the end. But I would avoid a barbarian. You still need a frontliner, I think, but it might be fun just to have, you know, just different ones. I mean, I guess your frontliners can be more buff bots like Shadowheart was. Yes, the different classes. All right. You vote break. Well, there's going to be a break anyway. This is for a future playthrough. You showed up about halfway through that. Because I'm not going to start another one immediately. I need a break myself. You know, just to do some research, if nothing else, to know what's coming along. Give you time to, like, choose our classes. A Holy Paladin? I don't know if Paladins... because the problem is clerics exist. So, like, clerics are already kind of your caster paladins, and paladins are your get-in-your-face warriors with spells. Alternatively, although warriors can get spells, because there's a berserker when they rage, they get a random effect. Which, whatever, I'm not... I know there is a fun build, I will put fun in quotes, depending on how you play the game, but there's sorcerers that, when they cast spells, it just randomly wings out other spells. So, and it can be good or bad. So, I mean, if you want chaos, it's there. The only problem with paladins, though, and why I didn't play it, is they have to follow, like, an oath, and you have to abide by it, or it breaks, and you have to go pay gold to get it fixed. And it keeps getting worse, and ugh. I mean, I think there's one, it's like a vengeance, and it's just like, hey, if someone wrongs somebody, go fix that. And it's like, oh, okay. The oath, yeah. I could have done another one right away. I mean, maybe. Like, if you guys were like, hell yeah, start now, I'd do it, but I usually like breaks in between my games. I usually like to give them a little bit of a break, but like I said, it's based off what you guys enjoy, because I enjoy so many games. So many games, so, you know. These are really long credits. My oath is to slaughter everyone who defies me. Technically, there's an oath breaker, and you get different spells, but I think that's more of like a necrotic damage thing. Like, you just break your oath as soon as possible, and you start doing necrotic damage stuff. Like I said, I did think of the idea of just having a necromancer. I think that'd be really cool. Just to have a million summons. It's just like, with just all the minions. Like, why not? That'd be really fun. So you would definitely have to get a lot of them. I don't know if a wizard would be smarter for that, but... A platformer? Maybe. I would have to see if I have any prepared that we could do. But I do have to get a platformer back in here at some point. Super Mario 2, The Lost Levels, but why though? I mean, I'm not sure. I'll see what platformer options we have. How platformy are the platformers? Are we talking? You know, are we talking, you know, like a Mario game? Or are we talking, would it be in the same realm as like collectathon games that have platforming, but also puzzles and a lot of, like your Spyro, you know? Something like that. Crash is specifically platforming, just that one is. There's no adventuring there. Still collectathon. Every platformer is a collectathon at the end of the day. Well, not Mario games. Like Spyro and Hellpie. Okay, yeah. Final Fantasy 14 and Warframe. I tried Warframe. I don't know. I don't know. I remember back when I tried it, Hollow was helping me out, and he took me to, you know, he was trying to help me level, and I was like, nah. Hellpie was fun times? Yeah, they're usually pretty fun games. The problem is I could get back into them again. It's just I usually ended up getting through them so fast, you know? Hey, look. The Arlatotep. I see you in there. Get to MR30? I don't even know what that means. I don't know what that means. Gotta find one I haven't played before. That's true. I could look around if there's any at a... there's plenty of them around. I think I have some I haven't played. I just haven't really done it. We can see on that. Master rank 30, need to craft everything and get it mastered. Oh, so it'd be like super grindy, wouldn't it? Because I'm sure that's rare for people to get to. And maybe not, I don't know. I'm assuming it is. I think I do have some, Ed. Let me take a look here. So I think I had a short one that was more... it's not playing music right now. Sorry, everybody. I do have that Styx game, but that's more of a stealth game than it is platforming. Let me see. I know I had it. Was it like Kanga or something like that? Cal the Kangaroo, that's what it was. I think that one was a platformer. I played like a small bit of it, but I don't think it's a super long game, but we could try it. Problem is I always crush through them so fast. It's like, oh man, that one's gone. Resident Evil 5 and 6. I don't know. Super grindy. Not rare though. Oh. Take a look here. Whoop! That's worse. That is the worst case scenario. I can't see anything now. Uh-oh. What music is it playing now? Hold on. Give me a second. The music's playing, but I can't be there. There we go. Now I can look through it, and it has the music going. I know I have a lot of platformers, even some I didn't finish. Let me see. I don't think I have any in the... Oh, you know what's coming up pretty soon as well is Blood West is going to have its final update. So I will be playing that again soon. You guys probably don't remember it. That was probably over a year ago since I played that. Let me see here. What else do I have? Oops. Let me look. It's like super close. Yeah, give me a second, Keyman. Other showcasing stuff. Oh, they started announcing things and showing it. Yeah, 5th. Oh, so like 3 days is when that's coming out. So maybe Blood West will be happening soon. Because that one's pretty close. Yeah, Keyman wanted in, so he's very pushy about it. Oh, hop up here, Keyman. Might as well. We're at the end. There he is. It's the Keyman. Boom, 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 boom. Keith. All right, let me look at some other games I got. You know, I thought about playing Kenshi again. I know they're coming out with the second one of that. What is that face? What, for Keyman or me? Keyman. Oh, God. His eyes rolled back in his head. Take a scratch, Keyman. Keith? Oh, don't you make fun of his face. He's feeling it. Keith, man. Oh, you're a little excited, aren't you? He said, thanks for the pets. Now I'm excited. Kenshi was a fun game, but it's a game without a story. It's one you just kind of make your own story, and it's a brutal world. I did play it a little bit, but I never really got far in it. Because it is a game that eats a lot of time, so. I thought I had more ready, but I guess I played them or something. The Kangaroo game, I know I didn't. Hell Pie was such a good game. It was very short, but... Man, these credits are still rolling. I think everyone got to write their own little message for the credits, which is nice. I don't know. Is there still a... let me check. Let me check while we got it here. I think the sales are done, aren't they? Yeah, I missed out on those. I didn't even look at all. Oh, the Bloodline was recently updated. Well, that's neat. I remember Teardown. That was a fun game. I don't know if you guys remember that one. You know what? I can look later. I'll get a list of the games we have. Yeah, I think we could do a platformer soon, Ed. I'll get one prepared that'll be a fun one. You like Teardown? It was a fun game. It definitely was. So I remember we did come back to it when it finally did add the rest of the update. So yeah, one of them's getting close to done, which is again Blood West. I don't know if you guys remember that game. Oh yeah, I was supposed to tell you guys when I last played it. Let me look. It was last played February of last year. So yeah, a little bit of time, a year and some since we last played it. But that was only Act 1 that we played. So now there's like 2 acts, and they've nerfed how easy it is to get bullets, I guess. So they made it much more slow. Because that was definitely an issue. Was like, you could just get so many bullets. Like, I was always so greedy with bullets anyway. That by the end, I had so many bullets, and I was like, But I remembered once I started using bullets, I was killing enemies so fast, but I was gaining as many bullets as I was spending. Like, more bullets than I was spending. It was like, oh, I should have been doing this the whole time. Because it just became an issue of once you were ahead of the curve, it was like you were ahead of the curve. Yeah, I think definitely Blood West will be one. I'll get a platformer in there. Platformer collectathons were always something I played a ton of. Even Sonic games I didn't mind, because they were almost that. I mean, it's more of your traditional levels, but they just didn't have the open world exploration as often, if ever, really. Like, you would have worlds, but there was nothing to really collect. Oh, we might have reached the end. Oh, look, we got the last thanks, huh? You for playing this game and supporting us, sharing our love for classic RPGs. I mean, this is a good look when, you know, games like this do well. That's always the hope. There'll never be like a takeover of those kind of games again, though.
There thou art, the dead three. Thy faces gods, thy actions barely worthy of the name. Didst truly believe thy ploy would succeed? Didst believe I would not notice? Thou sought to bolster thy strength by taking away the souls of mortals. But souls vanish when their hosts become mind flayers. Didst think the other gods would not notice? Gods thou may be, yet thou hast proven thyself fools, everyone. The supplication of Bane, the whimper of Baal, the death mule of Merkel. Felled by mortals, I overestimated thee. They did not. Vermin, away. Thou wilt trouble us no more.
Wow. He just talked down to all three of them, which, respectable. I get that. All right. Hopefully there's, well, not hopefully. Hopefully there's more. Nope. Seems about it. You know, I'm quite glad we betrayed the Emperor. You were scared he was secretly evil? I thought for sure it was going to go that angle, like, after he did it, but maybe he's part of the main stories. He always shows up. But... yeah, I thought maybe he's going to be like, you idiots thought you could do what I planned to do, and then he just says he has plans, and it's like, hey, here comes the next game. You know, forever down the line, but... I think games like this could stand to be more... I mean, these games do come out, and they are good. The only problem is, it's hard for these games to hit the effect that... it just, you know, these games are hard to hit right, and most people aren't going to buy these games. They just want to buy your yearly release run-of-the-mill stuff. Well, not even that anymore. It's just the games that have, you know, just stuff that you buy all the time, and they just make those changes. I mean, changes are nice for games, but I'd hate to say that I dislike those kind of games, because that's usually fine, but I feel like it almost tries to build themselves in a way that says this is the only game you're going to play. That's it. Like, I don't think you should ever do that. If your game speaks for itself, it will do that fine, but definitely what takes over a lot. You know, like your sports games. They're like, well, here's the sports game. You've always seen it, but it's the same sports game, but now we'll keep adding characters back in that you wanted, which I don't get sports, so I mean, that doesn't work for me. Like your FPSs love to do that, where they're just like, hey, it's the same game again. Wait for a while. We'll add 2 guns or something. It's like, sports ball. Yeah. From what I've read, I like the ending I got. Yeah. I haven't really read how the other endings go, but I feel like the Emperor was just gonna be crooked right at the end. Like, he was going to take over all of the Mind Flayers and not just kill the brain, which, no. That guy was wicked the whole time. He was always lying, like, every time. And you'd catch him in the lie, and he's just like, no, let me give you snippets to placate you. It's like, it's very, manipulative. That's what he was. He was just trying to manipulate the whole time to get you to see things on his way. And it just, no. Like, I'm telling the truth now. And then you learn something else that isn't the truth. And he's like, oh, well, here's a little bit more. But I'm telling you the truth. You get one of those that you could pull that off. The second you do it twice, it's like, nah, you're going to keep doing it. There's always more that they're manipulating. There's no way they're not. And I think it was pretty obvious for me when I tried to detect his thoughts. And he went, I'm telling you the truth and you're trying to read my thoughts. He didn't, like, let me read his thoughts. He just denied it. And then later, he just straight up reads your thoughts. Like, no problem. You can't even resist it. Which tells me that he expects you to trust him, but he will never trust you. So, the guy's evil. I mean, he's not blatantly in your face evil, but he's evil. He goes through the whole thing. I did like Gortash's kind of setup as well. That he's like, hey, why don't you work with me? Why not? Right? We'll control the brain. I'm not sure how that would end. I'm sure he'd just betray you, but I kind of like the idea that he would actually share like with it. But I'm assuming what he would do is if you go, oh yeah, and then Emperor drops the guard for you, he just transforms you. But I don't know. It seemed like a cool setup that you could be like, yeah, I'm greedy and evil. I do it. His design was cool. Ketherix was cool. I liked his. I just didn't like Orin. I found her annoying. She was just annoying by the end of it for me. She was too in your face about being edgy, which I said that enough already. It's just get her out of here. Yeah. I really do think I could do more playthroughs of this. And knowing the builds and stuff, just to see how other things play out, because this is a game that has many, many ways that things can play out. And I don't just mean the ending, I just mean all the quests. The amount of ways it can play out and all the voice lines that can happen, it is quite impressive for them to have that much stuff covered. To have to do the voice lines. I mean, just look at, like, Fallout 4 where they tried to voice it, and it felt like it just collapsed in the amount of things you could really have happening. It was tough. Not that it's, like, terrible, but I understand just how much work goes into preparing all those lines for the different eventualities and having to record them and then have them in the, like, it's impressive work. Definitely a good game. I mean, the lag was an issue, but hey, they patched it now, so that's good. I think I could really enjoy Act 3 a lot more now. Like, I just didn't mess around up at the top, because, like, why would I? Everything was slow. How's it going, Brett? Unfortunately, we just saw the ending, Brett. I just finished the game off here with all their little remembrances and everything. We actually just got out of the credits. So I'm kind of recapping at this point. Is it garlic bread? That's a good question. I'm probably gonna do another playthrough in the future though, Brett. I only did it on normal, though. This wasn't a high difficulty thing. The next one, I'll put it on a higher difficulty. I went into this with no idea what D&D was about and just let the game play out. It had some brutal moments, and my dice were terrible. I will let you know, my dice were terrible more often than not. But that's okay. That's, hopefully, when I do the higher difficulty, it's not as bad. I think when the next playthrough with the higher difficulty, I'll have a better idea of what's a proper build. And actually have my characters have a high enough hit chance that I'm not praying that the dice don't betray me. Because, you know, the amount of times I would miss 370s or hit 4 critical misses in a row, you know, it's a little high. But, you know, we'll actually look a little bit more. I guess with this one, I just knew I was going to make a dwarf, so that wasn't a surprise. I didn't even really look at the other options. I was like, a dwarf. It's a dwarf. We already know it. But yeah, I'll definitely be doing another one, like I said. If you guys are happy to see another one, at least even for DLC, if the DLC comes out by that time, we'll do it. But yeah, really great game. No complaints, except for the Act 3 lag. But that's fixed, so I can't complain about it now, can I? That was the only major issue I have. I mean, Act 2 still had a little bit of the lag as well, but I think Act 2 was a little bit... I feel like the Shadow Curse hindered the story of Act 2 more than it needed to. I mean, it felt okay once you get the blessing, because then you can move around, but I don't know. It almost felt like they couldn't push too much of Act 2 because that blessing was necessary. It was like carrying around a torch was just brutal. It was always there doing that. Yeah, either way, I think that's going to be it for this playthrough. And we'll wrap it up there. And hopefully we'll see everybody for the next one, whether it's before the DLC or not. But either way, thanks everybody for hanging out and watching. Good night, good afternoon, good morning. Whichever the case is for you, I'm out of here. Stay majestic.